1, 2, 3. Hi everyone, welcome back to Nicely Soiled. This is Valentina and I'm super happy you clicked on this video. So today I'm here with my Pachira Aquatica and I'm talking to you about this plant because I put all my efforts and I went above and beyond to rescue this beautiful plant. And the reason why I try to do everything in my power for him or her, I don't know, for this plant anyway, is because for me it is like a memory, a very strong memory, beautiful memory of when I went shopping with my grandparents. So the last time I went with them, and it's not that they are dead, but I cannot go anymore I cannot go shopping with them anymore because they don't have the capabilities of going out. So you can imagine how beautiful for me this plant is and what a beautiful memory it represents for me. And this is the picture of when we went shopping all together. It was such a beautiful memory. The problem was at some point after 3 years that I've had it, it started to have horrendous brown leaves. And I just did not understand what happened. So we all moved for the quarantine to a different place. If you remember at the beginning of these channels, this setting was different, and that's where we were. And the plant, probably you can also see it on the background, it was fantastic. We stayed there, it was like a nice and sunny home for 2-3 months. And it was like really thriving, it was continuing to grow, and it reached basically my height even more. And but still also in my place was growing really nicely. So then why the heck did it start to have brown leaves? And this is what I'm going to talk to you about in this video, because I really tried to think of every possible solution for her and nothing was working except for one single thing. So stay tuned, I'll tell you about it towards the end of this video with a few more considerations. So my first reaction to these horrendous brown leaves that now they are not there was probably something like an infection of the leaf, like a sort of fungi or whatever it could be. So what I did was I used this, which is against everything, is against mushrooms. I don't know if you say that in English, mushrooms for the plants, don't know, insects and other parasites. So it's general, it should cover every possible instance, and nothing was working. I removed every leaf that was turning brown, just in case if it's an infection. I said okay, so it's not going to spread any further, but it was still like proceeding and taking up all the leaves of the plant, and I did not know what to do. This plant is composed by 4 trunks, and of these trunks during the infection, during the problem of this plant, one died, this one here, but I don't want to remove it because it will mess up the look of the plant. Then I went and asked a florist what could that be, because I just do not have any idea what it could be. And she said, give it iron, it will probably work. So I bought iron and I gave it iron. I put iron to all the plants, and after a while, guess what? 0 results. Still the plant was getting worse and worse. So I'm not saying that iron is not a good supplement. This is Ketoleste, by the way. It's not a good supplement for your plants, but it might not be. It might not be working in the end. I gave it, usually you're supposed to give it once a year, so that's something that I'm going to continue to give them. Absolutely, it's not that I'm not going to do it. Then I obviously continued to fertilize with a general fertilizer for green plants. But even after fertilizing it, nothing was working. So because I stopped for the winter to fertilize it, because during the winter months it never grew, so I stopped fertilizing it, and I restarted more or less when the leaves were becoming brown. So I said, hopefully the fertilizer will work. It's March. I said, okay, I'll fertilize it in March. April, May, and the time was going by and nothing, absolutely nothing happened, even with the fertilizer. Then I tried the neem oil, and guess what? You can say that? No result. Caught in desperation, I said, I will lose the plant. I will lose it. I will definitely lose the plant. So I put it on that window, which is, now I put the curtain for lighting purposes and everything, but I'll show you what it looks like. It's here. And I have put it there. I said, okay, maybe a bit of extra light. I don't know. It looks so ugly. What can I do? I'll let it die on the window. And it was around, I guess, it was June, most probably. June. So here where I live, in June, the temperature starts to increase. The days of, the hours of light during the days start increasing. And so since it was warmer, lots of natural sunlight, but never direct, because if you check the picture, then it's never direct sunlight. It's a place where I also put my birds when I rescue them, because I know the sun will never hit directly, but there is a lot of indirect light. That's the key, I think. Rest, I didn't do anything else. I watered exactly like before, as I've always done in these 4 years. I watered when I actually never put a lot of attention to watering, because at the beginning when I bought it, I was watering a lot because I was very inexperienced. I said, oh, green leaves, I don't know, lots of water, little water, I don't know, I think lots of water. So I was watering every now and then, a lot. Then I started to water less, because I realized that it doesn't mean that the green leaves equal to lots of water. So that's something that I corrected, and then I made my research, and apparently watering this plant is not so much an issue, because in nature, and that's probably why it was thriving with me, in nature sometimes they receive a lot of water during the season, and then very little water for quite a long time. So that's exactly what I was doing. Actually, I was not very tidy in watering, and it was doing well until, you know, that time when it started to have brown leaves. What I did was I cut all the leaves that were extra, all the branches that were without leaves, and just like that, it was its rebirth. So my sincere advice to you is that if you have this plant and if you have a condition where you can give it a lot of indirect sunlight and warm temperature, just put it in that place. If it's outside, don't think it's an indoor plant, let's keep it indoors. Put it outside and give it a nice holiday, because that's going to be a holiday for them. I saw that many plants that I am growing there are actually doing much better, and I think that's ideal, really. That's what saved my plant, and that's exactly what I'm going to do next summer. If I'm still going to be in this apartment, that's the place where it is going to be. It will come back indoors in probably October, more or less, when the temperatures start to decrease, and I think it's no longer time for her to stay outside, because the benefits will be way less than the shock that it will have with way lower temperatures. That's about it. So I hope that if you have the same problem, I'll be able to help you. Hopefully you have warm weather and indirect sunlight. If you don't, try to replicate them at home. I know it's not exactly the same thing, but try to put, I don't know, maybe a grow light. And I'll probably try test a grow light very soon, and I'll be talking to you about it, because I like to experiment with things and give you great tips. Yeah, grow light, I would say use a grow light. Don't put it in the shade where it doesn't receive sunlight. It will be very, very unhappy. It will look crap and it will die. Regarding water, you can be a bit messy, water a bit more sometimes and water a bit less during other times of the year. It will be absolutely fine. Of course, don't dehydrate it because it's not nice, but it will take periods of drafts really well. And what can I say? Yes, absolutely, fertilize it, because that's important. Fertilizer, I always put, this should be 1 cup, nice, 1 cup for 4 liters, and no, sorry, 1 cup for 2 liters, and I put half a cup for 6 liters. So it's less than half of the dose, and trust me, if it's a synthetic fertilizer, it will absolutely work perfectly well. And I say this because I followed the instructions, and at the beginning, when I was quite inexperienced, it was my first time that I was trying things, and I had lots of plants dying. Trust me, lots. At some point I started to stop fertilizing. That's my English. I stopped fertilizing for some time because I was too scared. Then I said, okay, let's fertilize half of the quantity in more than double the amount of water, and it's actually working. I do it once a month. Right, guys, I hope you liked this video. If you found it useful, please give it a like. That would really help me. Share it with your family and friends, especially if they have this plant here. It could literally save their plant. Yep, I hope you will subscribe to this channel, because that would help me a whole lot, and I'll be able to continue to make these videos. And have a great day.